Good afternoon. It's Tuesday, September 18. I'm Herman Green with the Midday News. A special welcome to those of you watching online at onespotmedia.com. There has been another bomb scare at one of the nation's courts, this time at the Spanish Town Courthouse in St. Catherine. The building was evacuated while firefighters, police officers, along with animals from the K9 Division scoured the property. Our news team on the scene said a suspicious package was removed from the building. And we will have more details on this story in subsequent newscasts. The threat at the Spanish Town Court is the fourth bomb scare at a court building in 2 weeks. A bomb threat at the Supreme Court on Monday led to the adjournment of proceedings. Threats at the Criminal Division of the Quapac Area Parish Court and the Trelawney Parish Court last week also interrupted proceedings. Those three threats turned out to be hoaxes. Speaking in Trelawney recently, Justice Minister Delroy Chuck said there will be increased security measures at the country's courts.
Each court complex, and the idea of the camera is that it can detail what happens 24 hours per day. I hope that will certainly be able to identify any movement that may happen, because these cameras are such that it identifies any movements. So if there's a movement, say at night, we can identify what is happening. And we hope that will avoid similar occurrences.
A Westmoreland-based pastor is raising concern about the murder rate in that parish. This follows the latest incident where gunmen attacked several persons, leaving 4, including a student, dead, while 5 others remain in hospital. TVJ's Mullane reports.
Bullet holes and blood stains, evidence of the rampage which played out in several Westmoreland communities from late Sunday into early Monday morning. The gun attacks left 4 persons, including a student, dead and 5 others in hospital. The youngest victim was 16-year-old Manning School 5th form student Shamar Tomlinson of Grouda in Grange Hill. Also dead are 44-year-old Jerk Vender Wayne Sweetland, 20-year-old Devon Malcolm, and 32-year-old Ronaldo Reed. These shooting incidents have now raised concerns among church groups, including the Assembly of Holiness Church, which is pastored by Everall Gale.
It is the unusual rise in the shootings in the communities here, just within a 3-mile radius.
And those communities are?
Fort William, Maros, Hartford.
Pastor Gale says the situation is getting out of control. He also calls on members of these gangs to stop carrying out these vicious acts.
So many persons are turning to the gun, and I want to join with some of the radio commentators to say, look, put down the badness, and there's a better way.
Pastor Gale says he's doing his part to bring peace into these communities. However, he wants to see more churches getting involved to bring back these communities to where they used to be.
I believe in prayer, and prayer changes things. And coming in the community, I know it's my responsibility as a pastor to come and to not only to preach the word, but to pray for people. Because when we pray, I genuinely believe, that God hears and answers prayer. I've seen it before, and it will happen again, that God will turn the hearts and minds of the people in this community to worship and to serve Him.
The number of persons murdered so far in Westmoreland this year is 104. Shamela Pullen, TVJ News.
Vendors in Falmouth will have to brace for a further delay in the opening of the Falmouth market. This as the municipal corporation says the facility is still not ready for the previously announced September deadline. TVJ's O'Shane Masters has that story.
This will be the last and final date, and we are looking at a July opening, end of July.
That was the assurance from Falmouth Mayor Colin Gager in June this year. The opening, which was set for September, has now been postponed to mid-October. But that's no comfort for vendors, as there have been several opening date announcements since 2015. Construction of the facility began in 2015 when the $175 million contract was signed. Fast forward to the present, the cost of the project has ballooned to over $300 million. Speaking at the Trelawney Municipal Corporation meeting recently, Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie said he's not satisfied with the missed timelines.
While I am not all that happy that the market has not yet been completed, I would urge you to do it and do it well, so that at the end of the day, there can be no question about the outcome of the end product.
He, however, had this stern warning for the council.
It is important that you maintain your authority over institutions that you have responsibility for. Anytime you allow yourselves to be led by those who should take instructions from you, then you're quoting or you are setting yourselves in a position to face danger.
He also used the meeting to challenge the corporation to maintain law and order in the town of Falmouth. O'Shane Masters, TVJ News.
And the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, KSAMC, is facing the wrath of vendors in the Pernell Charles Arcade for a lack of water and bathroom facilities at the premises. The vendors are also upset about how the authorities went about locking them out of their stalls because of unpaid fees. TVJ's Kirk Wright has that story.
These vendors at the Pernell Charles Arcade in Kingston are again at odds with the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation. The latest issue, the vendors say, is that the corporation chose to weld the locks onto their stalls for failure to pay fees. The vendors say they take no issue with them being shut out of the stalls, but they say the manner in which it was done is of concern.
This draconian top-down approach don't work anymore. You know what I say? We need to sit down and have dialogue. It can't work. Them well up the stall them last night, like a Nicodemus in the night. When them come on to unweld that stall, you have certain welding on it when it damage. Who go and repair that damage?
If you owe your stall fee, you're supposed to pay. But some people get locked, what not supposed to get locked. And from morning, no one come and said nothing. Because they say if you owe 3 weeks stall fee, you're supposed to lock. And people owe 2 weeks and they are locked because they say you don't pay the vending fee.
The gate to the arcade is falling off and the wall in which it's hinged is cracking. And there are other lingering issues, including the absence of portable water and the poor state of the bathroom.
We don't have a flush toilet.
Because of that, persons use certain corners of the market to relieve themselves.
I'm nearer to it, so it is affecting me and affecting who's buying from me.
And then the roof. It's been like this ever since the facility was gutted by fire years ago.
In regards to the roof, over 6 years now, nothing has been done about it, so we don't know what is really happening.
Kirk Wright, TVJ News.
Patient transfers from the Maypen Hospital in Clarendon to other facilities for diagnostic tests will no longer be an issue there. That's because the hospital now has a radiology center in operation. This is a result of a public-private partnership between the hospital and Ering Radiology. Chief Medical Officer at the Maypen Hospital, Dr. Kimberly Scarlett, made the announcement while speaking at the monthly Parish Council meeting in Maypen recently. With the center at the hospital, Dr. Scarlett says it will help to reduce expenses for both the hospital and the patients.
So instead of spending money and time to take a patient to Portmore or to Kingston, especially with the road rehabilitation that's going on now, you will now have a radiology center right at Maypen Hospital. It's a blue and white building where persons can do their x-rays, their ultrasounds, their MRIs, all kind of procedures, so they don't have to leave. You just wheel them off the ward and wheel them right into the x-ray facility. It's going to save time, it's going to save money.
And we move now to an update on the weather as the Meteorological Service has extended the flash flood warning for low-lying and flood-prone areas of eastern parishes. These are St. Mary, Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston and St. Andrew. A flash flood watch is in effect for all other parishes. These are effective until 5 o'clock this afternoon. Now, an area of low pressure associated with the remnants of Isaac continues to produce unstable weather conditions across Jamaica. Outbreaks of showers and thunderstorms, which could be heavy at times, are expected to continue to affect sections of most parishes, especially eastern and northern parishes, throughout the day. And we go down to sports. Jamaica's first ever football school is now a reality as the Mount Pleasant Academy opened its doors in St. Anne yesterday.
There have long been talks of a football academy in Jamaica, but no one had backed up those talks with any substantial action. Well, that was before Peter Gould put his money where his mouth was to get it done in less than 6 months' time. On Monday, students turned up to take their place at the dorm ahead of Tuesday's opening. Boys from all across the island were chosen and were accompanied by their parents for the historic occasion. Principal and Director Vanny Clark says trying to get the school ready in such a short time does come with a challenge.
Trying to complete this massive undertaking in such a short space of time, you can expect that there will be some amount of, timing issues. So we've been working extremely hard. I left here late last night trying to ensure that the dorm area was properly prepared to accommodate the kids this morning.
And Clark says even though they are geared towards success, that won't come with a click of the finger.
As it relates to results on the play field, once we start playing, that will take some time, but we expect that they're going to perform. And so long as they keep learning, for me at this age group, at this part of their development, it's about the learning, it's about the process. So the results, the untrained eye will judge the results differently from the trained eye, but we expect that in time the results will tell from their performances.
Oren Campbell and Roshane Burrell are two of the students enrolled.
I think it's going to be okay because football is not only your aid. You have to have academics and so on to pursue a professional career in football. So I expect it's going to be good.
I would like to thank my mother for making me join this school, and my coach for bringing me to the child, and I did not disappoint him because I put out my all by playing. And the other coach at the child, they see that I'm a good goalkeeper.
And the parents were just as excited to have their children as a part of the project.
I'm so excited to know that my son was chosen to come here, and I just hope he do the best and achieve his goal that he desires. He loves football. Football is his dream, so I hope he put his head to it and know that is the way he wants to be.
The feeling is really great, I love the feeling, I love the atmosphere, and I wish him the best, and sky's the limit.
The school has been approved by the Ministry of Education and will see students doing a similar curriculum as the other schools in the country.
And that's the Midday News. I'm Herman Green. Join us at 7 for the Primetime News Package. On behalf of the News, Sports and Production teams, good afternoon.